Okay, question number 1 concerns accessibility. And the question facets are as follows. Will you be a full-time county commissioner? Where will you be in a national emergency? And our present commissioner has a coffee gathering each week at Triggers. Do you plan for similar meetings with constituents in the Perdido Key area? And we'll go to Mr. Underhill first.
Thank you very much. First part of the question, will you be a full-time county commissioner? The job description is not for a full-time county commissioner. I will not be running the 50, 60-hour work week that has been, that we say has been said about my predecessor. Folks, we've got to stop measuring the action, and we have to start measuring the production. Okay? You see the billboards that are up that say, trying to get us to buy more lottery tickets, and they want us to feel good about buying lottery tickets by telling us $7 billion spent for education. Why is it that politicians insist on telling us what they have spent or what they have expended, but they won't tell us what we got for our money and for their time? It is time to stop measuring activity and start measuring productivity. If you've seen a 2-year-old running, there's a lot of energy being expended, but there's not a whole lot of forward progress taking place. So I will be a part-time county commissioner as the Constitution of the state of Florida directs for the position. I will get more done because I will focus on what a leader actually does. A leader enables and empowers those around him to rise up to a level and to perform at a level that they don't think that they themselves can do. And I'm going to do that by setting the standard, setting the expectation, and then holding people accountable to it. For far too long, you have seen for anybody that has a military background, if you see the way that our county org chart looks, it's not really like a chain of command, it's more like a wreath of command. Okay? It's hard to tell who reports to whom and for what. Okay? And it doesn't even really matter what's on the org chart if you can always just go around that and talk to somebody else. For those of you who have been in the Navy, you know that officers always have an open door policy. But anytime that sailor comes into an officer's door, sir, do you have a minute to speak? Absolutely, come on in. First question out of that officer's mouth is always, did you talk to your chief? If the answer is no, then you're not ready. Okay? That's a respect for the chain of command. And when you respect the chain of command and you respect and expect each step, each part of your government to do its job, when you expect it, you will get it. If we don't get it, then obviously that's one of the primary functions of the county commissioners, is to ensure that you are in fact getting $1 worth of services for every dollar of your taxpayer dollars that we give to the executive branch. Now, we've seen that done by holding these people up in public and just shotgun blasting them. You will never see that come out of me off of that dais. Okay? Keep in mind that my children always watch. And whether, we all know about kids that whether you think you're teaching or not, they're always learning. Okay? You won't see me blasting our employees, county employees. You will see me empowering them when they do well in public, and when they need to be recalibrated, that's done in private, and it's done through the chain of command. So that's how you'll see. So there will be a very different type of leadership that does not in fact require being there 50, 60 hours a week. Where will I be in a national emergency? Great question, because as most people know that I work for Department of Homeland Security. I am also a reserve officer in the Navy Reserves. I am in a sanctuary status in the reserves, which means I cannot ever be called up again. Bottom line is if they call me up to active duty, then they have to give me an active duty retirement, and we know the federal government's not going to do that. Okay? So with regard to Department of Homeland Security, where will I be in an emergency? I'll be in the Emergency Operations Center at Escambia County. And I will bring with me a fairly powerful Rolodex that includes the Department of Homeland Security folks that I work with on a day-to-day basis and have a very professional working relationship with. We're doing a cyber exercise here at Naval Air Station in January that involves everything from our high school students all the way up to the Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security for Cyber Affairs. Okay? That happens because you have a demonstrated professional record of success. In an emergency situation, that's the guy you want to have in your EOC. I believe that covers the question.
One more facet.
Oh, coffee with the commissioner. I will be using in much the same way that the other county commissioners, all of whom, by the way, have their own businesses and are working part-time, and have a full-time commissioner's aide. I will be using a commissioner's aide to filter the needs to ensure that by the time it comes to me, he's done all of the research so that when I give you the answer, it may not be the answer that you want to hear, but it will be the honest answer. I will always, always under-promise and over-deliver. Whether or not they'll specifically be a coffee with the commissioner, haven't put that much thought into that form of interaction yet. Thank you.
I will be a full-time county commissioner, and this has been part of my platform since I began running June 20th. I am in a unique position, and I understand that, but that puts you in a unique position to have a full-time county commissioner, and you have that choice to make. I believe the salary, when you look at the average salary here in Pensacola, is about $40,000. I think the salary of $76,000 plus, James, dictates a full-time county commissioner. But again, that's your decision to make. I believe also that you can't punch a clock on this job. You cannot say, I will come to work at 1 o'clock till 6 o'clock. County commission meetings do not always happen in the afternoon. You have agenda review, you have CRA meetings, you have TPO meetings, which we are a part of. They happen in other parts of the counties, in other counties, they happen at different times of the day. You cannot set a schedule as a county commissioner. You have to be available. There are things that happen in our community that I think is important that a county commissioner attends. The people like to see their county commissioner out and about, seeing what is going on in the community. I also will be at the EOC because that is a part of our job when an emergency happens. And as far as the discussions with Deb, yes, they will continue. I will probably move them around and continue them in other places. I've had to suspend mine over here at Mojo's because Tuesdays are going to be kind of busy right now. But let me say this, canvassing has been so much fun. And my volunteers are fighting over me to go out with me because they enjoy it as much as I do. And I think that I will make this part of my tenure as a commissioner, that I will go out once a month, pick a neighborhood, pick a couple streets, we call them turf cuts, and create a turf cut a month, and go out and knock on doors. It is heartwarming to constituents, to citizens, that a commissioner, a candidate, somebody knocks on their door and says hello. They like it. They like that one-on-one contact. I say they, you like it. So I will continue that as a commissioner. And I think I've answered all 3 questions.